So we heard of the Vineyard while we lived in La Crosse, Wisconsin. We went to school there, and that's where I attended during my schooling. I really enjoyed the Vineyard, and it was a place that I just felt really loved. After I graduated, I knew I was going to come here to Davenport for grad school at Palmer Chiropractic College, and I wanted to find a place just like the place that I felt so loved in my undergrad town of La Crosse. And they recommended the Vineyard here in Davenport. And so when Darcy and I decided to come visit, it was just a natural choice.
Yeah. And there was so we started dating, and we eventually got engaged, and there's a time in our relationship that we were like, okay, we know that we'll be moving down to Davenport together, so let's go take a day trip. And this was like July 2016, I think 2016, and we came down for the day on a Thursday and decided to kind of drive around the town and see what Davenport's all about, and stopped at the Vineyard, not really knowing that it was closed, but we ended up going to check it out anyways. And we were there looking in the windows, and all of a sudden we see this woman walk up, open up the door, and says, "Hi, can I help you?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're just hanging out, come to check out the church." And she let us in, and sure enough, she introduced herself as Alex Faison. And then there's Caleb and Bree and Bryce, and they were all hanging out. They're all siblings, and we're like, well, hello. And they took us around on our own personal tour of the church itself. Got to see the Vineyard Kids section, and Big Church and the cafe, and it was just really awesome. We felt so welcomed by them initially, and that's kind of what has kept us going, is that welcomed feeling and that loving family that we have at the Vineyard. But when we were there, we were explaining so it's 2016, we're actually going to be leaving for a year, going overseas, coming back, and then we'll move down to Davenport. And it was amazing because the Faison family prayed for us before we left our trip, and Cody and I walked out of the Vineyard Church of Davenport being like, this is the place that we want to come back to and call our home church when we are married and when we have our own family. And so that was kind of our first initial meeting of the Vineyard Church of Davenport. It was really special to us. And now I'm a Vineyard Kid teacher, Club 56, woo, and Cody.
Yeah, and I help with the youth group on Wednesdays, and we decided to host a Bible study in our home.
Yeah,
and that's really fun. But another thing, the first time we came to the Vineyard, one of my favorite things was seeing on our way out their mission statement or their vision statement for the church, and it was talked about a multi-generational church and a multi-ethnic church. And just a place where people could serve and save the cities here in the Quad Cities for Jesus Christ. And I thought that was just a really great mission statement, and it was something that I really wanted to be a part of. And then even coming back a year later, now we get to see that is true, that the diversity and the multitude of people that go to the Vineyard here in Davenport. It's just neat seeing that reflected in the actual community of Davenport, how diverse this population is here in the Quad Cities, and how it just shows up at the Vineyard.